Holy cow, you're back. Well, thank you for once again joining me at Running Behind. I'm Joey Metzger, your slow AF host who just loves to talk all things running, trail running, and other stuff. And today is Dee Lukas Day. Now, Dee may not be a back of the packer or a trail runner yet, but she is a very dear friend of mine and my wife's, and she has a ton of great stories to tell. We cover the gambit from her running origins to her multiple, we're talking like 8 knee surgeries and recoveries, to her involvement with a wonderful Twin Cities organization called Mile in My Shoes. And dogs. Yeah, we talk a ton of dogs. So, what are you waiting for? Lace up those Hoka Mach 6s, and you might want to have some ice sleeves ready when you get back, but it's time to get ready. It's time to hit the trail. Well, what do you usually use for your Zoom calls? I assumed you were just going to use your work computer and just whatever.
I am on my work computer.
And those are the headphones you normally wear on your SureScripts calls?
I don't wear any headphones on my SureScripts calls.
Well, why are you wearing headphones?
Because Drew said these would be better sound quality.
Well, Drew's right. You don't have to, but it does sometimes cut out some echoes I get. Are you...
Okay. They feel heavy.
Oh my God.
You know I'm not
Are we
a
gonna
tech
need
person.
to take? We're gonna need to take breaks every once in a while so you can
I'll just send you my Cairo bill.
Oh, thanks. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Don't tell Erin I'm having a little bit of bourbon.
I'm sure she'd be so surprised.
We won't tell her that. I'm going to cut that out. I'm recording already, by the way.
Oh,
I always start recording right away because you just never know.
I know. I do the same thing for my work webinars.
You've got some water. Have you got some? You need some Diet Coke, water, gin?
So I have an array. So I've got my Element.
Okay.
I've got my water.
Are you standing up? Are you on the treadmill right now?
No, I'm just standing up. And I have my wine.
Oh, see? There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here's to Running Behind podcast. Here's to running. All right, so let's go. Let's do this.
It's happening.
Let's start. I just texted. I have 0 notes. Normally I'll have some notes. I've got 0 notes. I said we're going to talk about dogs. That's our fallback. I think we'll.
Great. I love it.
Will be a lot of dog talk. We might talk running. I don't freaking know.
We know each other too well for notes.
No, I know. Okay, we'll get into how I know you and all of that. Before we do anything, Dee Lukas, give me one word that describes you as a runner. One word.
Stubborn.
Like it? That's good. I like it. Okay, one word that describes you as Dee Lukas, the person.
Optimistic.
Hey!
And I know that's yours too.
That is a great word. This is off to a great start. So, real quickly, obviously, we know each other. Dee Lukas, would you like to tell the story of how the hell we know each other? You
Sure.
tell the story. People don't want to hear me talk. They want to hear you talk. I'm not going to talk tonight. It's just going to be you talking. You go.
Oh, great. Okay.
So how do I know you?
So we met. I am good friends, dear friends with your fantastic wife, Erin. And we met, oh my gosh, back in, I don't want to say it was 2015. I think it was 2016 because we worked at the same company, a local company. Okay. So I don't think I'll say the name of that. But she was working on site at a client and I was working at the corporate building. And so, throughout the years, we became trauma bonded at that company.
Yep.
We have both since left that company. We both Erin moved to the current company we both work for today. I took a little bit longer to get there, and now we are working together once again in a much happier, healthier workplace. And of course, just once you meet the Metzgers, you just fall in love with the Metzgers. So we connected on dogs first and foremost. I know you guys back when we had Penny. You guys watched our Penny for us, which was kind of how we made the initial connection. And then, yeah, just dogs, good food, cocktails. I think one good story, Joey.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of
There's
good
gonna be,
stories.
but like a really good story.
Yeah.
It was, so the company I just referenced, I was laid off from. And Erin was still employed, and she hosted a happy hour for those of us who were connected through that same company.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was biking everywhere because I'm like, I'm unemployed. Like, I might as well bike everywhere I go because I have the time.
You got to save that gas money.
You
Come
listen.
on. Right?
So I biked over with a bottle of gin in my water bottle bike cage.
Yeah.
And it was a Thursday night. I think it was a Thursday night. Yeah. And I think I was the one who enjoyed the most. Yeah. It did storm that night because I remember you went and saved the day with a neighbor, and I was like amazed by that. And then I also had to call my husband to come pick me up because I shouldn't have been on a bike in that condition, but also it had stormed. So I kind of had a better excuse. Yeah.
Right.
But then I woke up the next day and I realized, which, if again, for your listeners, if you know the Metzgers personally, this is very on brand. I remember I woke up and Erin had packed me like a bag of groceries to take home.
We call that drunken grocery packing. You have some pesto, have some pickles. Yeah.
I did leave with pesto.
God.
I think I also left with like Kodiak waffles from your freezer.
Wow. Okay.
And I do think I left with some pickles. And then I texted Erin. I'm like, you know what? But thank you for setting this for me because there's nothing better that sounds right now than a Kodiak waffle and a pickle. So
with a little pesto on it. There you go.
One of the many stories.
Yes.
But that's how we know each other.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't. How come I never get to see Drew anymore? Your husband, Drew. It's like
I hardly get to see Drew anymore.
Well, you and Erin do stuff all the time, and I'm like, shit. When are the four of us getting together? What the hell happened to that?
I feel like I recently. You can fact check this because I do think this is accurate. I feel like I did just text Erin. I mean, when I say just, it probably was like 2 or 3 months ago now because we both have had a rough season with losing our furry friends. So time doesn't really exist right now. But I feel like there's a somewhat recent text of like, we got to schedule a double date night. Because the last time we went out was when we went to Cove in Edina. And what was that, 2 years ago?
My God.
When Erin was like right after Erin had just started back.
You're still married to Drew, right? He's still your husband? Is that
allegedly?
Okay.
We are about to hit our 10-year wedding anniversary in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Erin and I.
Yeah, Erin and I 10 years next year, I think.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gave me your 2 words. Mm-hmm. My other question always is, what the hell are you doing on this podcast with 51 listeners? My sister in Manhattan, Madonna Manhattan, informed me the other day. I said I have 50 listeners. She's like, I ran into somebody in the streets in Manhattan who listens too. So I guess I have 51 now.
Of course.
Yeah. Why, Dee? Why are you on here?
Isn't that a question for you?
I like that answer. Let's just go with that.
Okay, we can move on.
All right, let's go. We're going to find out why she's on here. We're going to talk about your background with running and sports, a couple of niggles in the knee, some knee stuff that's gone on, and we're going to talk about. I'm really intrigued, and I don't know a lot about it other than I think I'm fascinated. And I love that you do this. You volunteer with Mile in My Shoes. Yeah. So I want to talk a lot about Mile in My Shoes, and I want to talk dogs. We're going to talk dogs. I don't know how we'll get through talking about Penny and Ricky because it's still, for me, it's still pretty fresh. I know it is for you. Yeah. It's not going to get easier. This is, by the way, for those of you on the podcast. Unless you're watching video of this, I've got a little necklace with Ricky. It's got his picture, and then it has his fur inside of it, and I wear it every day now.
That's a good idea. I saw it in your
gonna wear it all the
pictures
time.
from this weekend. I saw you
Yeah.
wearing it. That's a good, because we still have the fur that the vet
Yep.
clipped for us, and I've been trying to think of ideas. That's a good idea. One other idea I was looking at is like you can get like a glass ornament that looks like them, and then you can put the because it's like
that.
same with her ashes. It's just kind of like what do we?
And it's it doesn't, it's not them, but it's like it's a reminder. It's something I can just touch and go, he's there. He's still here. So we're going to talk dogs, mile in my shoes. I'm going to talk to you about how I'm going to convince you to be a trail runner. So we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to put together a trail running race schedule for you for next year.
I would actually appreciate the assistance there.
And working out and stuff like that. Just, I don't know, we're gonna shoot the shit. Shit. Let's start at the beginning. You grew up in the Twin Cities area, right?
Yep, I grew up in Egan up until 8th grade.
Okay. Three kids in your family? Am I missing 3, right?
No, you're right. I got 2 older brothers.
Okay. So, Dee, as a young child, when did athletics come into your life, and at what form was that? Because it still hasn't barely come into my life, and I'm 57. So, or as Dee likes to call me, Grandpa Joey. That's fine.
Grandpa Joey.
I could take it.
Okay, we'll say like Apple or iCloud keeps recommending like a name update to Joey Metzger because I have you in as G-Pod Joey.
Oh God.
Well, it's recommending an update.
You know how you're in my wife's phone, right?
I do. I shouldn't have brought that up because mine is way worse.
For my audience, Dee. No, we're not gonna go into that. Something.
Take that as a follow up. We'll add it in the show notes.
Well, it'll be in the show notes if you delve into that. So, how did you first get exposed to athletics? Through your brothers? How? School?
I mean,
early on.
I mean, literally, I can remember, as far back as I can remember, we all played sports. And of course, being the youngest and the girl, it was always keeping up with the boys and making sure I could prove myself so that they would let me hang out with them. But I would say from day one, whatever that looks like, back when I started walking, it was soccer. It was basketball. Okay. I did quite a bit of track as well. Short distance.
Okay, let's stop for a moment. Okay. When did you do track? I always like to know track backgrounds because I had, it was the one sport I tried to do, which I sucked at and still suck at. When did you do track and what distances? What age? What distances?
Yeah, so I remember doing track. My mom was my track coach when I was a little elementary school kiddo, doing, I think it was like the 50-meter shuttle with it's like herding cats with all the kids. So we did that. And then I did run a little bit in middle school. I ran in high school as well, but that was actually primarily, which I know we'll get to eventually, that was primarily for rehab. I have had multiple knee surgeries. I had many in high school. So usually track was a way for me to kind of get back in shape and rehab for soccer, for basketball. Mm-hmm.
So your main sport is soccer. Is that your main thing?
I would say, I mean, I played a lot of soccer.
Or basketball.
And a lot. No, did you see Drew? You saw Drew?
What?
Oh, there he is. He's in the background.
Does he exist?
Is he
coming in? Is he joining?
Saw him. Well, you saw like a blur,
I saw somebody. I have no idea. Could be a neighbor trying to break in. So soccer, basketball, kind of your main jam.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was better at soccer than I was basketball. And I was the only, my family, we bled basketball. Like all of us, and my dad coached us, and that was a year-round sport for us. And I was the only soccer player in the family. But I would say that was probably, again, the sport that I was best at. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't relate to that, of course. I was a short little kid and played basketball, tried it once, but never did anything.
Well, I'm not tall either, just to be clear. I'm not tall.
Yeah.
Just because I'm standing right now doesn't mean I'm tall.
Yeah, you look taller than me.
Okay.
You feel taller. You act taller. I don't know. Well, so you did basketball through high school?
So, I did basketball and soccer through my freshman year of college.
Oh, okay.
And then I was medically ineligible to continue playing at college.
Medically ineligible.
It didn't last very long.
Do we want to talk about medically ineligible? Any more details on that?
Well, yeah, we can. So to date, I have had
Let's talk injuries.
Where do you want to? Yeah. Okay.
Knee. What you name it? What? You tell me your injury history. Let's just do it.
Well,
let's start.
So back in kindergarten, I broke my toe. No, I'm just kidding. We won't go back that far. So I tore my first ACL. It was my sophomore year of soccer.
Okay.
It was like right before playoffs, and I was young. So I've got a July birthday, so I was very young. So I think if I go back, I was 15. Okay. 15 when I tore my first ACL, 14 or 15. Okay. So that was late fall. And then I missed basketball season that year, of course, rehabbing. The following summer, my very first soccer game back, it was summer league, I tore my other ACL.
Your first game back, tore the other ACL on the other leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this was back in the days when they did the big Donjoy braces, like the big hinge Donjoy carbon. So my surgical knee was in that big custom brace. And then it was the beginning of the second half, my first soccer game, just popped the other one. And I knew instantly. Like I remember just laying there being like, get me the F off this field. I have to like start all over again with this BS.
Oh my God. So this is number 2.
Number 2, I hadn't even turned 16 yet.
Oh God. Okay.
I know. It was brutal. Right. It was brutal. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So then
you had you weren't even fully rehabbed with the other knee when this one goes. So how are you walking then? Is the other knee rehabbed enough where you can get around and now you're trying to rehab?
Yeah, because I was cleared to play.
Okay.
But yeah, I wasn't even not even close to a full year out of surgery from my first ACL.
Okay.
And at that point, so in 8th grade, we had moved up to Alexandria. So I'm in Alexandria now. And I'll say, like, I don't think they really knew what to do with me there for many reasons. But especially with, like, bad knees. Like, I remember going into my surgeon and him being like, what do you mean you think you tore the other one? And it was just kind of very unheard of back then. I say back then as if it was like it was decades ago, but
Well, yeah.
And it was a smaller town.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then through high school. So I had 4 knee surgeries in high school.
4?
I had
all ACLs or what?
No, meniscus. So I also had, to date, I've had 1 surgery on my right knee. That was the ACL.
Okay.
My left knee, I've had 7 knee surgeries.
Left knee, you've had 7?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So 8 total. And I had a lot of meniscus issues. Frankie's demanding to be let in. Can I let her in?
Oh, yes. Hi, Frankie.
And then here's our foster pup. Okay. Let's go say hi. Who's this guy?
Hi,
know this guy?
There's Frankie.
You know this guy?
Hi, Frankie.
I know. Her tail's wagging like crazy. Do you see him? I know.
Hi.
She's
wondering
where you are. Do you want to say hi too? Okay, here's our foster pup. Okay.
Now that's not Finley. Who's the foster dog?
This is Eddie.
Is Eddie new? Oh,
he's new.
Hi. Oh, he's
Isn't
cute.
he sweet?
What a sweetie.
Drew wants to call him Slim Jim.
I like that.
Tall and skinny.
Yep, I like it. He's cute.
He's very cute. He's 9 months old.
Okay.
He is a breeder release pup from Missouri. So he was stuck in boarding. So obviously you can imagine a boarding place for a 9-month-old pup is not the best spot. So we busted him out.
Nice. Missouri is where all breeder rescues come from, isn't it? We'll get into it.
That's a big spot, yeah. Okay,
yeah, we'll get into it later when we talk dogs. We're getting to... Oh, my God. Okay, so...
We know what's going to happen.
Left knee, ACL, and then what are the other surgeries on the left knee? Because the right knee is done. You had the ACL and you're good to go.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. So the issue is, and I will say, this is not formal professional medical advice, but knowing what I know now, because I kept trying to fix my torn meniscus and by putting sutures in it, and I kept tearing the sutures, and then because there are sutures in it, it kind of tore more. So then we eventually just had to start like cutting the meniscus out. So I had 2 ACLs and then 2 meniscus surgeries in high school. And then fast forward to loop back to the medically ineligible, I had my 5th surgery to remove almost all meniscus I had left after my freshman year of college. And then I was medically ineligible because it was just like the trainer at Hamlin, I went to Hamlin. He was just kind of like, I can't like let you keep doing this to your knees. Doing soccer or basketball or both. Both. Mm-hmm. Both.
But you were allowed to attend school.
I was allowed to continue attending school.
That's you weren't medically ineligible for going to school or paying tuition.
I wish I was. Sports. Yeah, and then, gosh, what was the next? And then I had another meniscus-ish surgery, kind of like a cleanup.
I thought you didn't have any left. You said they took it all out. What are they cleaning up, Dee?
The root was left, Joey. The root was left of the meniscus.
Okay, explain to me. I am not smart like you and Aaron when it comes to this stuff. What the hell is in there then if you'd have no meniscus? How does your knee function? How does it work without a meniscus?
Well, it's funny you ask because we keep trying to figure out how to make it keep working without much meniscus. So we do, you can do a lot like muscularly to help support your knee. I mean, eventually arthritis is going to become too bad and I'll get a replacement. But for now, we're just trying to, I've done like the plasma-enriched platelet injections. I've done the rooster comb injections, like the Synvisc injections. I've done Toradol, cortisone. I've kind of tried it all.
So eventually they have to put in a new knee.
Eventually. We're trying to kick that can down the road as long as we can. Oh. Yeah. But
okay.
So then fast forward 20 this kind of gets into a little bit of the running journey, but fast forward to 2015. At that point, I hadn't been playing sports since my freshman year of college because as soon as, my knee felt awful. And like it was, it didn't enjoy doing those sports anyway. So at that point, I hadn't played sports since my freshman year of college. I ran a little bit, but then it also really didn't love that. So kind of in 2015, it had been a few years of like yoga, biking, lifting weights, like very low impact stuff. And I remember waking up one day, it was a weekend, and it was March, and we were a few months, my husband and we got married end of August, so it was our wedding year, which is kind of an important component to the story and I remember, and so my husband's also had 5 knee surgeries. So
oh God. Drew's had 5?
Yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah.
I did not know that.
So lucky number 13 in a household combined count. But I remember I woke up, it was like a Sunday morning, and my knee just feels really off. Like I'm having a hard time going up and down stairs. And, Drew having his history too, he's like, between yoga and biking, you didn't do anything serious to your knee. Like, well, go get it checked out. I got a guy in the city. So for those of you who need a knee guy, I got a guy.
You don't have a guy in Alexandria. You do have a guy in the cities.
I do technically still have a guy in Alexandria, but I have.
But he's the guy that doesn't believe in you can injure both knees, though. Remember that. So.
Well, I just think he hadn't seen it before.
Oh, okay.
Until I came along.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was one of one at the time. And
So
then,
the knee's acting up in March. You can't go up and down
yeah.
the stairs.
So
So
long story short, got an MRI, and my surgeon at Twin Cities Ortho was like, "Oh, I don't see your ACL anymore." I'm like, "Well, that's not possible. Like, I've done this before. I know what it feels like." And he's like, "I think your graft wore out," which is very rare. But your graft can just, like, the graft that they put in to replace your torn ACL, it wore out. So he's like, "I got to go back in and redo the graft and fix it." And so, like, anybody's been through like ACL recovery, it's months before you're kind of like fluidly walking and like actually super mobile. And I'm like, okay, well, we're getting married in August. We've already have our honeymoon kind of booked. We're going to Croatia, so it's going to be like a lot of walking and hiking. And he's like, he called me on a Wednesday to walk through the MRI results. He's like, "I can fit you in Friday morning if you can make it work." And I'm like, I think I can make it work. So I had my third ACL done in March of 2015. And then in December of 2015, I was really just kind of stuck with rehab. I was like, the range of motion was stuck. I was having a ton of pain. I mean, I kind of regretted having the surgery because my knee felt worse. So then we re-MRI'd it. And of course, because my lock in my knee joint, the structure is horribly compromised, there's a big cyst that had formed over a lot of like the surgical work he did. The ACL graft was fine, but he did some like patella meniscus work. And he's like, "We got to go back in. We got to go back in, and we got to get that cyst out of there. We got to redo the suture."
can they just
like
put a zipper on it? These so they just like just.
Well, if my
just
scar wasn't so sensitive, we have joked before of getting a tattooed zipper on it.
Yes.
But because it's been open so many times, it's so sensitive.
Oh God.
We can't do that. So that was
so
surgery.
they go back in.
So that was surgery 7. And then the other surgery a few years later was to go in and remove some of the hardware because I was having a lot of bone pain. And what can happen is, like, after everything's kind of like grown into place, if your body doesn't need, like my right knee, my hardware is still in there because it doesn't bother it, but sometimes you can get some pretty significant bone pain, and then they go in and take the hardware out. But I think I walked out of the surgery center on that one because it was easy breezy.
Okay, I don't know a lot about this. What kind of hardware? What's in your knee? What
So they take a graft. It's basically screws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they take a graft, so they cut out a chunk. So 2 of my ACLs, they cut out basically a chunk of my hamstring tendon, and then they use that to replace your ACL graft. And then the third one, they took a chunk of my quad. So then they have to like secure that in place with hardware.
Oh my God.
It's a trip, man. It's a trip.
This is crazy. So you have 47 knee surgeries.
Don't put that on me.
You have 55 knee surgeries, and then you go, I think I want to run some marathons now. What? How the hell do you get from there to running marathons, to running period? And then I want to talk about your history running marathons and half marathons.
I mean, I'll say very slowly. I took many years off. I think it was about 10 years off from running. And it was just like I remember telling my husband, Drew, a lot, like, especially every fall, because fall's kind of the best season to run, right? I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I would just love to go for, even if it's a mile. Like, I just would love to go for a run. And like, still throughout the years, I was still doing a lot of lifting and biking and yoga. So trying to, like, being active it's just like a hobby and a passion of mine. So I have to get creative. Like, for a while, I was doing the arm bike at the YMCA. But golly, I was getting my workout on. If you know, crutch my ass to the arm bike. So I found a gym called Fly Feet Running, which has recently closed. Which is not recently. It closed. I believe it was during the pandemic, unfortunately. And I went there, and it's a treadmill like lifting gym, or was.
Okay.
And so I would go there, and I would kind of power walk. And I did that for a couple months, and then I kind of started jogging. And I was like, oh, my knee's actually responding really well to this. And then I just kind of took off from there. And I remember a few years ago, I was really proud when I hit like 7 miles for the week. Just being like, holy crap, I'm doing it. I'm running.
That's like a mile a day.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Yep.
So, and it just kind of, it was a slow build from there. Because, of course, like, I still, even, increasing mileage, like over the summer months, I kind of had to prepare my knee to handle that. But yeah, I just kind of like kept trying to increase it slowly without Drew knowing. And then here we were.
Because Drew doesn't approve?
Me. He would have stopped me.
That. Okay. And now he's okay with you running, or?
I think he just knows. Like,
or he just gave up.
Like, try to tell her no.
He's like Aaron is like with me with motorcycles. At some point, you just go, I'm not going to stop that.
He's like, it's not even worth the fight.
So you start running again. You're doing, a mile a day, 7 miles a week. And what are your aspirations? Just to run, just to keep your knee loose, just to get some exercise? Or as you start running, are you immediately going, when do you do like your first 5K? Or when do you did track, when do you like, as you're running, go, I kind of want to do this distance race and work towards that. When does that happen and what does that look like?
So, I think it's probably so. My mom at the time, she's a major marathoner. When I was on,
we can talk about that. Let's talk about your mom.
Yeah,
let's talk about your mom. So your mom, I think I knew this, but I don't know all the details. She's a longtime marathoner, just the Twin Cities Marathon. Has she done like Chicago, Boston?
She's done them all. She got her 6 stars. Okay. She got her 6 stars in her 6th star in Tokyo.
No way. She did all 6 majors? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
So it's an amazing story. So back when I was, so after I had a transition out of like competitive, actually any sports, I'd love to say I played non-competitive sports, but it was kind of cold turkey. I ran through college and ran my first full marathon in 2010 before my knee got really bad. And then kind of after college, I was kind of transitioning out of running because my knee just was not feeling very good. And then at that time, my mom was getting into running. She was a long time smoker and she was looking to quit. And I remember they still live in Alexandria. So when I would go visit, we would walk to one mailbox, we would jog to the next mailbox. I'm like, that's my biggest piece of advice for runners is like, start slow. Because everybody who's like, I hate running, it's miserable. I'm like, yeah, because you probably just start sprinting. Like if you start slow, it feels a little bit more accessible. Anyway, so she took that approach and she is no longer, she hasn't smoked for years. And she's hit, she just got her 6th major marathon star in Tokyo. She'll be 65 in December. She's going to go back to do Boston. I think this will be her 3rd or 4th time doing Boston. And then she might take a break from marathoning. I mean, like, I don't believe I came from her because I'm like, how are you doing marathons at 65 when I'm just trying to get my knee moving? But yeah, she's
crazy.
She's incredible.
I just wish she would have like smoked while she was doing Boston, like have a heater in her mouth, light it up about mile 25, just take a couple of puffs as she crosses the line. I was a long time smoker too, but I didn't get her marathon speed. I don't know.
Well, she does say, and I don't think she'll mind me sharing this, that she's like, not a day goes by that I still would love a cigarette. So I don't know, Joe, if you feel that way too, but
watching in the mornings with a cup of coffee. Sometimes we'll be watching a show and they'll have a glass of bourbon and a cigarette. I know exactly what she means.
Yeah,
that is crazy. I knew she was a runner and I knew she had done some marathons. I did not know all of that. That is crazy. 65. So what is the qualifying time for Boston when you're 65 these days? Is it still 3.5 hours or is it?
No.
It's got to be more than that.
oh my gosh, I don't know it off the top of my head. I know her marathon time hovers between like 4 hours and 4:10. And since she makes
4 hours.
Yeah.
4:10.
I think I used to know all her times, but then she started doing so many marathons, it was hard to keep track. But yeah, she cruises. So anyway, so that kind of was important context, because then when I started to get back into it, it was kind of fun to sign up for some 5Ks together, half marathons together, and because we enjoyed kind of starting that journey together, and it was tough for me. I mean, for both of us, but to not be able to have that common hobby anymore. So, and then honestly, Joey, this is kind of leads to like, I just don't, like this year I'm not doing any races. Okay. I'm one of those runners who like does not need a race. I'm thrilled to be like horizontal, able to run. And I don't really, I run with a fabulous group of dads on Tuesday mornings at 5:30.
I see that. Yep.
Yep. They've made me faster. They've pushed me, and they've been incredibly supportive. And I've been running with them now, I think a year and a half or 2 years. But they just know, like, if we end up if our route, we run for an hour and the goal is to run about 6 miles. If we run 5.5, I'm good. I won't be that person running laps around the parking lot to round it out. And if we hit 7 or 8 miles, it's like, that's fine too. 'Cause I'm just happy to be out and about and with the ability to move my body like that. So like aspirations, I will say the one thing I wanted to do was to run Twin Cities Marathon one more time after everything I'd been through with my knees. And I talked to my surgeon, and he's like, I don't love this idea, but I think if you do it right, you can do one more. He's like, I don't want this to be like a regular thing, but you can have one more, and then I would recommend doing like halves, 10 miles, 10Ks, etc. So I did slowly build up. I think it took me like 2 years to build up to the mileage, and then I ran the Twin Cities Fall again in 2022. I think it was 2022. You and Aaron were there. The one? What year was it?
I was there. I took a picture of you and Aaron hugging a mile 23, I think.
And I was sobbing at that point because my knee felt awful, which was unfortunate because it did really well with the training runs. Like I did, I think I did 2:20s and 2:18s to really just kind of test it to see how it would do with those distances. And it felt great, recovered really well. And the day of, it just felt cruddy. And also it was like, Summit it's a powerful spot during the Twin Cities Marathon, especially if you live in the area. So you guys were everything I need to see at mile 23 for many reasons. But you
did pretty damn good that day. I think your goal was around 4 or under 4. You were right on that, weren't you?
I was like 4:07.
Yeah. Pretty damn good for,
you know what? I'm
58
happy.
Knee surgeries.
Exactly. Like, who am I to be disappointed with that?
Yeah. Didn't you the year before, run the Grandma's Half Marathon? Didn't I see that on Strava?
Grandma's Half. I think it was 2 years in a row. This year and last year. Oh, I did run it last year. This year was the first year, and then the year before, which I love. I love that race. I'm such a North Shore gal. My biggest beef about it is just how expensive all the accommodations are. And like you probably should have booked back in June for June of 2026 and 2027 to pay $1,000 a night for a...
Yeah, it's a popular weekend around the country.
It
People
is.
come from all over to do that race. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Does your surgeon know about trail running? Do you know that that's easier on your knees? There's no hard pavement usually.
I will say, I did just get some new trail running shoes because mine were really old and crusty.
Do you want to save that for the 5 pieces of gear? Or should we talk about it now? What'd you get? Just tell me what you got.
I really like Nike Zagamas.
Oh, yeah. My buddy Eric, he swears by Nike
I'm a Hoka girl through and through for my road shoes.
Really?
But we have a couple dear friends who live in Beaverton, Oregon. They both used to work for Nike. One still does. So we get the hookup with codes, and I got the Zegamas for winter running because I do, I mean, I will run in the wintertime. I have to be very careful with ice, and then also like anything below 15 degrees, my knee gets really angry. So she's temperamental anyway. So in the wintertime, she's extra temperamental. So the Zegamas were like my winter shoes. And then they're great trail shoes.
Yeah, those are great shoes. So no running any races this year. Nothing on the calendar.
No,
just enjoying it for the fun of it.
Enjoying it for the fun of it.
Running with the guys. Yeah,
yeah.
Last year.
Go ahead.
Last year, what? No, you go.
I was gonna say, last year I trained. I did a lot of speed work, which was super fun.
I saw that. How many Strava segments do you hold?
I mean,
do you keep track of that stuff? I was watching on Strava last year. So for my audience last year, Dee I think I told you on Strava, I was very impressed. She was doing a lot of speed work. She was going out. That must have been part of your routine or your training regimen to like hit these Strava segments and try to capture them. That had to have been. I want to talk about that. Yeah. Where you came up with that training routine, if that was a coach, if that was you, if you read that somewhere. And then if you want to brag a little bit, like how many Strava segments have you tracked? Because you were like knocking them off one after another. Yeah.
So that specifically, so I am a part of like the Mill City race team, which is a great community running group for anybody who's looking to get plugged in. It's a fantastic group of people. It really holds true to like the value of like the front supports the back and the back supports the front. So every summer, this is my first year not doing it, but every summer it's a week-long challenge called Capture the Segment. You get broken up into, I think it's 3 or 4 teams. And there's a list of segments all around the city. So not only do you have to like locate the segment and make sure you run it the right way, like, we're like
north to south, not south
we're like
to north.
Clockwise or counterclockwise. Like you have to run it the right way. You have to make sure your Garmin or Strava or whatever catches it so they can. And there's a whole algorithm that they have in place, which I just kind of show up and run. Like I'm like, tell me what to do if I need to run it fast or if I can kind of like jog it, and I'll be there. But there's a whole algorithm of like the number of people from your team who completed each segment, the fastest. Like cumulative time. There's this whole algorithm. So it's this week, and like you just go out and you haul ass 7 days straight trying to capture as many segments as you can. And when I say capture, it's like completing them, not necessarily like being the fastest, because there's some really, really, really fast people on the race team.
Dee, are you guys all doing the same segments, or is like Dee and these 3 people are doing these segments, these people are doing other? You're all doing the same 20 or 30 or however many segments it is.
So you get like, I think it is it there's like typically 10 segments per team, and they're home segments. So of course I'm a St. Paul girly, so I was always on like the St. Paul Roseville team. So we had like 10 home segments to try to protect. And then we're trying to go capture the 10 home segments of like the Minneapolis team or the South team or whatever it is. And then it's a super fun thing. I mean, like I said, you wake up at ungodly hours of the day because like you have to factor in, like if it's a mile segment, you're sprinting for a mile, but then you got to get back to your car. Right. So there's all this strategy there of like dropping cars and then also trying to figure out like what segments are kind of grouped together so you can try to hit 5 or 6 segments before you're trying to get to work at 8 a.m. Right. So you're figuring out drive time and all that. It is a batty, fun week. It's so much fun. So that was so I've done that the last few years, and it's been a great event. But last year I trained for the Tracksmith 5,000, which is basically like a track 5K.
5K. Yeah. Yes. And you kicked ass. Let's talk about it.
I did.
You did kick ass. So how long did you train for that? Did you have a trainer, or did you just follow a program, train with your running group?
So,
how did you train for that?
I know you're going to ask me because I'm going to pull up Strava because I know you're going to ask me like what that was. It was definitely PR for me. So Mill City, also being a part of the Mill City race team, you get training
Yeah.
programs and access to running
Okay.
coaches. So, and also to be honest, like last year and kind of a little bit the year before was like the first year I actually did more than just like going out and going for a run. Like kind of throwing in some like 400, some 800, some
Yeah.
striders, some hills, like, and that was very new to me because again, like my mentality is like I'm just happy to be physically able to be doing this. Like I'm not going to ask for too much. I don't want to get greedy with it. So I followed. They kind of had like a speed summer training plan that I followed. So it was, like a recovery run, threshold run, kind of some sprints, and for me, I have to try to keep my weekly runs to like 3, maybe 4 runs a week. Like I really have to have a well-rounded routine with like strength training. I've added in Pilates in the last year. Like running can't be my sole activity. That's like the one parameter my surgeon and my PT has given me. So I do stick to that pretty strict. So like trying to fit all these different runs in 3 runs a week takes a lot of strategy. And then also one of the dads really ran a lot of my speed workouts with me. So shout out David. And like a lot of times, because like he's very fast. I mean, a lot of the dads are very, very fast. And on Tuesdays, it's kind of like their easy day. So David sometimes would bring his little kiddo in a stroller. And while I'm dying and panicking doing my speed workouts, he's running next to me, pushing a toddler. So
I can't keep up with you guys when you're walking to your cars after your run.
oh
So.
my goodness. Okay, so then with that, my goal for the Tracksmith 5K was 24 minutes, and I ran it in 23:38.
Holy crap.
I know.
Why do I keep having all these fast people on my podcast? It's called Running Behind, not Running Ahead. Jesus.
Well, I might, my fast days, because then I was having knee issues again. So I went and got an updated x-ray. My surgeon's like, you lost, I don't know if he said 3 millimeters of space or 5 millimeters of space, because like we do x-rays to measure point of no return with a knee replacement. And I was like, well, I did a lot of speed workouts. And he's like, yeah, that probably did it. So this year it's just been a lot of, again, going out for a run and enjoying it. So this year I did plan, as you know, I would have loved to have, my next goal is to do like a trail half marathon, maybe.
Really? What are you doing August 23rd?
What am I doing August 23rd? That's like the next weekend.
Yeah, it might be a little soon. My buddy Eric, Mindy Creek, which is up at St. Croix Falls, there is a beautiful half marathon and full marathon trail marathon. I'm gonna send you we're gonna figure this out for you. I
do want to map something out better because I feel like there's some really fun spring ones. But just with losing Penny, I mean, we had, I've been having some knee issues recently, and it's always like whack-a-mole, like a moving target. So we're like, is it bursitis or is it a tibia fracture? Is it so we're kind of playing whack-a-mole right now. It's finally feeling better. But what I will say, as you know, our Penny had cancer, so we were really committed to treating that. And she didn't make it to her oncology appointment, but I kind of had just plans to kind of get her through that journey. And then just, with losing her, just as to find the energy and motivation to do like a formal training plan. It's just not in the cards for me this year. So it's fine. Same. I'm really enjoying not having a strict running plan, and I'll get back to it.
I have no running plan, and I am not enjoying it. Like you, we've been caretaking for our Ricky, who we lost shortly after you lost Penny. Mm-hmm. And so like the running kind of went out the window. And then after we lost him, I was like, just been so busy with work, and you're just kind of devastated, and we're still figuring it out. It's so hard. So hard.
It's hard to keep moving.
It is hard to. So, and I'm just doing the best I can. And for me, if I didn't have these races, I would just be like, I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't do any running at all, probably. So for you, they don't motivate you. For me, I I have to have them, or I
Mm-hmm.
won't even do anything times like this when I'm
Yeah.
busy with work and just down or dealing with
Yeah.
Ricky stuff. So
Yeah.
I
I
have
get
to
it.
have races to focus on. I got to do it. Hey, speaking of dogs,
Mm-hmm.
did Erin tell you we had a call tonight?
Yeah,
Did she tell you? We're going
she
to be
told
foster
me.
parents. Yeah.
Yay!
So, yeah, this organization is bringing in dogs from Missouri from a
Yeah.
breeder who's trying to get out of the business, and they're all Cocker Spaniels. And so we had our first call. I told Erin at the end of the call, I'm like, because we want to find Lexi, Ricky's little sister, a
Mm-hmm.
little brother, probably,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
And no pressure, but they have to be exactly like Ricky. I mean,
There's
no
nobody like Ricky,
pressure.
and there's nobody
I
like Penny.
know. And there's nobody like Penny. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we can't replace them. But I did tell
No.
Aaron, and we both agreed. We said, because they have two dogs right now, it's like, we need to get a foster for these dogs right
Mm-hmm.
away. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, here's the deal. I don't care which one we get. Probably the one that's a little bit less, a little bit more timid might be good for Lexi to start with. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, but we are going to agree that we are not adopting that dog.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mm-hmm.
just going to agree that we
That's
need
totally
to,
okay.
we, yeah, and we, no matter what, I don't care if we fall in love with the dog. It's like, nope, we need to commit that we are not, we need to take time.
Mm-hmm.
We need to take time and we'll foster a handful of dogs. At some
Mm-hmm.
point, we're going to find one that goes, well,
The time will
he's
be right.
exactly,
When it's right,
he's
it's
exactly
right.
like Ricky. So he's
Mm-hmm.
the right dog. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. I
but
mean, listen, yeah,
yeah,
we've fostered for a long time.
yeah, I know.
And there's so many, even when we had two dogs. So we had Penny and Frankie. Frankie, it was our foster find. She's from Texas.
Dee's
She's just
adjusting her camera for those of you only on
yeah.
audio, and little Frankie is sleeping on the little couch or chair behind her.
You would
Oh,
never
she's so
guess that she
sweet.
was abandoned in a cardboard box in the side of the road in Texas because the way I mean
Isn't that
she's
crazy?
stayed at your home before. You know she's got a
Oh,
list of
yes.
demands. Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
is. I don't want to call her high maintenance. She's not high maintenance.
She's
She is.
spicy. Or she's
She's spicy.
particular. She's particular.
She's particular. We had a dog like that. Her name was Lucy, as you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy was
Mm-hmm.
a special dog. She loved, loved, loved us. We loved her. She had, she had her things that
Mm-hmm.
she was particular. She was
Yeah.
spicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, we've had over 20 fosters, like right around 20
wow.
fosters in our house, like whether they were like super short term or we've had some for 3+ months. And I think the number one thing is people are like, how do you not keep all of them? And one, I think the best part of being a foster is you get to find the dog's family, right? And it's
Yeah.
just it's a perfect fit, and it just makes sense, and it makes it so easy. I mean, there's still some tears with every dog that we hand over, but
Sure.
and then eventually we'll of course get Frankie, another sibling again when the time is right, when it feels right. But it'll be nice, like fostering, you can kind of test the waters with a second dog and see if it feels like a good fit without fully committing. And if it's not a good fit, you find them the best fit and try again. So I think it's
Yeah.
great. There's so many dogs who just need, even, Eddie, he started off yesterday not knowing what to do with the dog bed. He sat next to it and then he laid next to it. And then I kept kind of setting him in it.
Yeah.
And he, now he is, I'll see if I can tilt my camera so you can see him, but now he is in a dog bed.
Oh, look at him. He kind of reminds me of Penny a little bit.
He's got a Penny face.
Just a little tiny bit.
He does. He told, to be honest, like the nice thing about foster dogs too is it can kind of help distract you and kind of feel like I needed some doodle. Our Penny was a golden doodle, so he's kind of feeling that golden doodle joy that we missed. So
yeah, when Aaron and I, anytime we see a golden doodle, it's a penny doodle.
It's
It
a
will
penny
forever be
doodle.
a penny doodle. There's no such thing as a golden doodle for us.
She was the
It has to be
best.
a penny doodle.
She
was
the
so
best.
awesome. Love, love, love Penny. What foster organization do you guys go through, or do you go through several?
We are approved through several right now. Most of them have been through Rough Start Rescue, based out of Princeton. We have taken 3 from Underdog Rescue, which I think is where you
Okay.
got Ricky, right?
That's where we got Ricky. Yep. Yep.
And then he is through Coco's Heart, which is new. He's our first foster through Coco's Heart. So some of it is just like, kind of branching out and see how other rescues do it. And then also just kind of getting some exposure to other dogs and just seeing, kind of like testing out dogs for potentially what we would want to have our second dog to be. Yeah.
I don't know if Aaron told you, but I stopped at, that's probably 3 weeks ago. I stopped at Underdog with some of Ricky's stuff to donate. He had a lot of medicines, and Ricky was on constant daily IV bags and all kinds of medicines and things. And so I had called them up. They're like, "Yeah, absolutely, we'll take that and some food, specialized foods." And I stopped over there and waited my turn until they had time to talk to me. And Dee, I just freaking bawled.
Yeah.
Like screaming bawled. And
It's tough.
there's this family, and this little kid there is like, they're like meeting a dog to adopt. And the little kid, he's probably 7 years old. He comes over to me. "It's okay. That just means we love them." And then I just cried harder. And I'm like, how embarrassing. I'm a grown man and some 7-year-old kid is trying to comfort me. I'm like, it's just so embarrassing. But
anyone who's lost a loved one, like a loved, beloved pet, gets it. It's a loss that impacts your day to day.
It is. It's he was I keep describing him as our soulmate. He was my soulmate, literally my soulmate. And Aaron would probably say the same.
Yeah, we call her Penny. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say Penny. We call Penny our once in a lifetime dog. Frankie's great, but Penny was just, she was just the best. She was our once in a lifetime dog. Yeah.
Yeah, same. We were cleaning out the kitchen, as you know, we're doing some remodeling. And cleaning out the kitchen, and we got to the cabinet with all the dog supplies, and we just lost it.
Yeah. I mean, it hits you at kind of the predictable times, but also some pretty unpredictable times, and just take it as it comes.
Made myself a new running shirt that says "Running for Ricky."
I saw that. I think I need Strava.
Yeah. When I run the Mammoth 50K, I'm going to have the necklace on and the shirt on. And
it's coming up.
Ricky is going to, don't remind me. I got to start running.
He'll carry you through.
I haven't run at all this week, so I got work to do. But he will. He will. And my goal on that race is to just get to the top of Mammoth Mountain somehow, even if I'm past cutoff. Even if I'm past cutoff, get to the top, they can pull me there, and I'll take the ride down. That's fine. But
perfect.
I'm gonna try.
Got it. You got it.
Okay, so what have we talked about? Dogs and knee surgeries, and we've talked a little bit about running.
That's my brand.
A little bit about running. Let's talk some mile in my shoes, since we're getting on to about an hour here. Mile in my shoes. Let's start with, what is Mile in My Shoes, Dee?
So Mile in My Shoes is a local nonprofit here based in the Twin Cities, and it supports people who are in recovery, exiting incarceration, experiencing homelessness, etc. And so basically, to put that in kind of like what it means is, there's running and walking groups at a variety of recovery centers, halfway houses across the Twin Cities that we volunteers go. We meet up with these individuals. They get passes to be able to leave their centers, and we walk, run, kind of depending on where they're at in their fitness and what their goals are. And it's just a really I think moving your body does so much for you, like physically, mentally, emotionally. Which is like, even through all my knee surgeries, I'd find some ways to move, even if, like I said, it was the arm bike, because it just is so powerful. And it's just a powerful program that really supports people, again, experiencing all those things and trying to get their feet under them and like carve a new path maybe that they've never done before. And so this is my second season with Mile in My Shoes.
So these people, this is voluntary for them, or is it part of their treatment programs, or it's just voluntary?
So it is a formal recovery program for them to like sign up and participate in.
Okay.
And then, they are committing to joining us. There's, for my particular location, we meet up 3 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and then Saturday morning. So they're committing to joining, I think it's at least once. And then, they're supplied running shoes, running gear. It's connected to Twin Cities in Motion.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a formal recovery program for them that they can commit to.
So is there a group of people that you run with, or is it just you and one other person, or could be a whole
group? Great question. Yeah, great question. So we really tried to pair mentors, which is technically my title as a volunteer, to one resident. So we get that kind of like quality one-on-one time.
Yeah.
Now we do walk, run like the same route. So like yesterday, for example, we did 20 minutes out, 19 minutes back. Now that we're a little bit later in the season, trying to push them a little bit to move faster on the way back. And then we do break up into, who wants to run. We've got some really fast guys this summer, some really fast guys. And then we kind of have like walk joggers. So people who are kind of, whether they're working up their fitness or, maybe they've had, and then we have a walking group because it's amazing. We think we have a bad day, right? At work, or like, I know I've been getting my ass kicked at work lately too, Joy. So I can feel it. So like, I'll show up and I'll just be exhausted and be like, I've hardly drank water today. I've hardly ate any food. But like, you hear these stories. Not only are they battling potentially, previous addiction issues, but like, just like the access that they have or lack of access to like fresh food. Like they don't even have a fridge in the recovery center, the one that I volunteer at. And like, golly, they show up and they work their tails off, and it's just like really amazing. Yeah.
Do they, so you guys are kind of coaching them a little bit. So as part of the program, when they look for mentors, are they looking for people that have some experience and are able to coach, or just can anybody that's willing kind of show up and be a mentor and get involved?
Yeah. So they have a formal, like kind of like a training program, orientation, I'll say, to kind of like some videos and just to kind of talk through like
the mission,
what to talk to them, like, the mission, kind of what it is, how it's set up, but also like some language to speak to these individuals who are battling all these various things, and kind of like topics to stay away from, topics that are encouraged, and then also like from a running perspective. So we do have like a coach at each location who kind of sets the distance. So we get them, their pass is an hour. So we we warm up in the parking lot, we pair up, and then we typically are out for about 40-ish minutes. And we kind of build up to that, like the first, everybody's first run, whether they join at the beginning of the season or at any point throughout the season, they do 1 mile that day. It can be a walk, it can be a run. And then, like sometimes we'll throw in hills. There's a number of hills that are by the recovery center. So it might be like a hill workout one day, and kind of incorporating some of those important running components, or walking. Like I actually transparently have been walking most nights with them just because my knee has very limited life in it right now. Yeah, it is. And then, so like I said, you get an orientation, you get some language. There's some strong boundaries we have to set as far as like what we share, obviously personally, and whatever they want to share is open for them to share what they're comfortable with, not share what they're not comfortable with.
What, and I don't want you to name any names or anything, and you can say as little or as much as you want, but over the last year and a half, what's been one of the more powerful stories or transformations that you've experienced with one of the people in the program?
There's so many. These people are, I just think they're so amazing. Just like, and some of them, they just like, they grew up running the streets, right? They like, whether it was with their parents or their siblings or cousins or whatever. And just like the fact that there's a common thread through like majority of the residents who come through Mile My Shoes, and that's that they want to do their life differently than they've ever done before. And to do that, they need different influences. They need to approach things very differently. They need to, develop different muscles and new skills. And, so it's been really fascinating to have stories with them of, there's a number of people who are in for drug dealing, and it's kind of like talking to them of like, what are you going to do when you get out so you don't get triggered to go back to dealing drugs? It's like, well, I don't want to feel like I don't have any money. I can't support my family, because then the easiest thing for me is like to go back to selling drugs so I can get some quick money. Okay, but what does that look like? What is the game plan to make enough money so you don't get to that point? Or, how are you battling your, like addictions? Like, what are you going to do to make sure you don't go back to, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, whether it's whatever it might be. So really kind of having some conversations. And also the nice thing is, I don't want to say the nice, but like a really valuable thing. And then I do have a specific story I'll tell you is I show up exactly as I am. So we lost Penny at the beginning of the year. And like, I would say probably the last 2 weeks have been good, but I'll say like the month before that. So we lost Penny in May, and I'll say most of June, most of July, I just was in a really tough place mentally. And it just like, it seemed like I kind of was recovering and then went to a hard spot. And I shared that with one of the residents because she was struggling. Her home confinement, her goal was to move out and live with her 2 young kiddos and her fiance. And that had gotten denied. And she was feeling really discouraged and depressed and like kind of beaten down. I'm like, you know what? I got to be honest with you. It took everything in me to leave my house tonight because I just am in a really hard place. I don't have a lot of like resilience capacity. And she's like, thanks for sharing that with me, because I just assume all you mentors, like your lives are just, you have it together and like your life is perfect and sunshine and rainbows every single day. Like I never thought this would be hard for you to show up and, have energy to come here and support us. I'm like, so like kind of showing up for each other in different ways is really powerful. But I will say one of the, God, there's so many powerful stories, but one last year in particular, I ran with an individual who was in prison for, I think it was 30 plus years. They had went in when they were 15. It was a really tough situation. They were primarily homeless from like a very, very young age with not much support system. And that's kind of a common thread of like, it's lack of resources. It's lack of accessibility. Like, I think, it just is the infrastructure to help these people out throughout these journeys have been lacking mostly. But, they were put in a tough position, got caught up in a really wrong group of people and went to rob a convenience store, panicked, shot the convenience store worker, and the convenience store worker passed away. And they were about 14, 15 when this happened, and got tried as an adult. So they're now coming out at 45 years old, went in without a driver's license, like 15 coming out of, and like just how the world is a different place. And even like one like powerful little thing is the stoplights didn't talk when they went in, like pushing the button to cross.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like it was just like, where's that coming from? Because
50th Street is on like, cross. Yeah.
Learning how to take care of get their license, take care of a vehicle, cook for themselves. And it has been so amazing to see them. They're now they've moved out of the residence center. This individual was the first person who received parole with their parole officer with this particular crime. But it's just because they're showing so much transformation. They are a productive member of society, hardworking tradesperson. So now, like, they're off living their best life. Yeah. Just got a cat, and just like enjoying the peace and quiet of having their own space and learning to cook. And they just like light up when they talk about cooking
Yeah.
for themselves and all the foods that they're trying that they've never been able to try before. And it just like it was a really unfortunate thing. And I know, you know, these, you know, they broke the law, they got caught, but second chances and third chances are so important, and we all deserve it. So
is the running become something? And I know I've had several folks on who are in recovery from alcoholism and drugs and stuff, and the running oftentimes becomes a focus and a therapy, and it's something that helps heal them. Is that what you're seeing too with these people? Is that the running? Like, I was curious if any of them, like, some of them are still in these programs and they have to get passes, but are any of them like signing up for a half marathon or the Twin Cities Marathon? And, you know, because that really then I could see that becoming a goal and something that really helps them progress through their healing.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question, because kind of throughout the so City of Lakes Half Marathon is kind of like the pinnacle event that they can train for. And if they train for and they're kind of like they're showing the commitment to it, they get longer passes on Saturdays to go out and do long runs. So we have a distance crew that supports the longer runs, which I did last Saturday. And then the individual who I just talked with, him and I ran City of Lakes Half Marathon together. And it was such a fantastic experience and it kind of creates like this sense of a huge sense of pride and like capability. And it's, you know, it's building all these intrinsic skills that they maybe have not developed before. So we do typically have the downtown runaround, which is a 5K that happens in June. It happens every single year, which is open to the public. So that's kind of like a test race for a 5K. And then if they're interested in continuing to build on, there is the City of Lakes Half Marathon that they can participate in. And I do think, like, in speaking to like the addiction and, you know, like when we're out, and, you know, both my parents were smokers. So I do kind of have, like, especially my mom, it's a great story to share with them, because if they're struggling with running and like breathing, and, you know, some of them will run with their vape pen, and I'm like, well, you know, listen, like, that's not making this any easier, right? Like, you enjoying a cigarette before we go for a run is not making this any easier. And then so it does kind of motivate them a little bit, even like, and also having the awareness of what they have access to, right? So like not going in and being like, well, you should be eating organic kale smoothies every single day, right? Like, focus on hydration, focus on like trying to get some better sleep, focus on stretching and mobility. Like, what can they focus on to make things a little bit easier? And then there is, like I said, a sense of pride and intrinsic motivation. And a lot of them were like, we need people like you to influence us in a way that we've never been influenced. So it's a really neat program.
Yeah.
It's something that has become near and dear to my heart very quickly.
Okay, so we've talked about how it's changed them. How has it changed you, Dee Lukas? How has that volunteering with that changed you? What changes have you seen in yourself, if any?
I just think, like, it just has made me a much more empathetic person. You know, like, people who are out there judging people who are incarcerated or, like, got in trouble or made some bad decisions. Like, one, you probably did too, you just didn't get caught. Or, like, but also, yeah, right? Yeah.
I did get caught a couple of times, not to that level, but.
Yeah. I mean, it just is like,
yeah,
these are human beings who have the same core essential needs that you and I do. And if I can show up for them in a way that maybe people in their lives have not showed up for them, or quite frankly, maybe their people have showed up for them and they're kind of tired of showing up for them because they're kind of in this cycle of kind of getting themselves into trouble, right? Like, so I think it makes me more empathetic, but also just makes me really grateful as well, just to have the resources. I mean, it's a privilege. Like, you and I have a privilege that people in this country don't have. And like honoring honoring and like acknowledging that privilege is really important, while also being incredibly grateful for, you know, like I said, a number of these people didn't really have a chance because it might be like generational habits that they're trying to break, and just being grateful that, you know, I had the upbringing that I did, and the resources and access that I had to things that some of these individuals didn't have, and then just like the privilege of, you know, being who we are in the country that we're in. So
that's awesome. You know of Rocksteady Running?
I do.
Race organization. You know John Steenkamp, for all of his races. Some of his races are lottery, and they're very hard to get into. Hint: unless you volunteer, go volunteer. Keep signing up. He does also do a partnership with Mile in My Shoes, and that's how I heard of it.
Oh,
where you can sign up. And you have to raise money for Mile in My Shoes, but then you can get entry into some of his races. So that's a nice partnership for some of my Minnesota and Midwest trail running friends listening. So Mile in My Shoes, what do they need from, I'm going to have a link to them, obviously. Yeah. What do they need from my 51 listeners? If anybody hears this and wants to help, Dee, how can they help? What do they need the most help with? Donations, so I think, shoes, mentors, what?
So, I mean, I think first and foremost, donations. Whether you're local or you're listening to this from far away, I would say they're always looking for donations. It's astounding. Just the fact that these individuals are showing up, and the fact they get a brand new pair of running shoes by signing up, right? I mean, we know the value of that, but it's also important because you need a good pair of running shoes to run, right? And to feel like you're capable and like your body's not breaking down. So I would say donations are always very powerful. And also to like what you said about Rocksteady Racing, they do have a lot of fundraising opportunities where you can get an entry into Grandma's Marathon or Half Marathon or Twin Cities Full or Twin Cities 10 Mile. And they did Ragnar. They've got a number of events where you can fundraise for them. So you also get essentially free entry into those races. And it might be, when it's sold out, they might still have some entries left. So it's kind of a sneaky way to get entry into a high demand race. And then you fundraise, and it's typically ranges from like $700 to $1,000 depending on the race and the distance. So that's a fantastic way. If you're local and you're interested in joining Mile in My Shoes, we're always looking for run mentors. And that's the role that I do. And it's one night a week, or there's morning options too. And, you know, if you fill out an application, they'll reach out to you to figure out what location is most convenient for you. If you prefer a 6 a.m. Thursday morning run or a 6:30 Tuesday evening run, they'll kind of figure out what works best for you, and then you kind of show up. So I think those are 3 really great ways to support Mile in My Shoes. Okay.
Very nice. Did you and I talk about, have you ever seen, and you can stop me if you and I already have talked about this, 26.2 to Life?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So I'm going to have a link to that in the show notes. So for my listeners, Dylan Bowman, who, you know, everybody knows Dylan Bowman from Free Trail. He was involved with this program with San Quentin, and that's how I first heard about it. And he interviewed one of the prominent figures in 26.2 to Life. But yeah, I'll have a link in the show notes. So it's a documentary film about this program at San Quentin prison with these long-term prisoners who are in for life. For long sentences, they come in and they put in a running program. And one of the prisoners ends up getting paroled and is allowed to run Boston Marathon. And it is amazing story. And every time I hear about Mile in My Shoes, I think of that, and it's like kind of like that on a certain scale. So very cool.
It's a good one. And I recommend that documentary to, you know, sometimes people like to give me a hard time because I run and participate with Mile in My Shoes and kind of what that could potentially look like. But I'm like, listen, Go watch that documentary, and I dare you
Who's
to
giving you a hard time? My wife? Who's giving you a hard time?
No, my husband.
Oh, Drew is. Oh, okay. All right. Got it. All right, Drew. That's fine.
No, but that documentary is really, it's an accurate depiction of a very similar model that Mama My Shoes uses.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I watched on a Delta flight, which was like a horrible mistake because I was just like sobbing throughout the whole thing. Just like being able to relate to what,
Yeah, you were me sitting in Underdog giving some of Ricky's donations. Yeah,
we're such softies.
Sad. I know we are. Dee, what else do we need? Okay, so trail running next year. Do you want to start? Are you serious? You want to start trail running? This isn't a back of the pack trail running podcast. So I've got to try to convince you to do some trail running. What part of the season you like to run in? The fall? What kind of distance? You like climbing? You like flat? You like dirt? You like gravel, rocks?
I do need to figure all that out because, so I really love running river bottoms by the Sibley Historic House.
Okay,
it's very flat. I kind of, it's beautiful. Actually, Penny and I used to run that together because it was nice and flat, and she loved being out in nature with me. And I will say one of the dads who I run with, he's a big trail runner. And he's kind of constantly training as well. So him and I have talked about potentially me taking along with him out to Battle Creek, I think is typically where so I have to figure out like the technical stuff and see how my knee will do on the technical stuff. But I mean, I'm thinking, I do run through the winter time and have a treadmill. So spring's not out of the question. I just think it's like, I want it to be, I think distance-wise, like anywhere from a 10-mile to a half marathon. And then I know there's some that are like 18-ish miles. I think, like, let's see where 10-mile and half marathon, how that feels, and go from there.
I'm going to suggest one.
Please.
Rock Steady Running, Spring Superior 25K. It's about 14 miles. I did it a few years ago. We brought Ricky and Lexi with. I made a film about it. I forget what I called it. Hugo on High or something like that. But that's a beautiful race. You love the North Shore.
Love the North Shore.
It's all on the Superior Hiking Trail. Store camps races. You can't get better than that. And that one, the lottery is not as hard to get into as the fall ones. So I would suggest that. Use your friend that you run with. He'll have a lot of good suggestions for you too. But I do need to get a commitment from you for next year to help me. I've committed to running the 24-hour race, the fans race, at the end of May. So I will run for 24 hours, and it's kind of be, I run, walk. But I'm going to ask all of my local runner friends to sign up for a couple, 45 minutes or hour and a half would be like 2 laps. It's mostly walking. So, all right, I have this recorded now, and 51 people are going to call. End of May, I think. I don't think David's posted that registration yet.
Okay. Well, will you let me know so I can put it in my calendar?
That's on pavement. It's not dirt, but still. And I'll keep you posted. So I've got my closing stuff. I'm trying to remember what all my closing questions are. You listen to the podcast, maybe you know. Give me something you like to do that is nothing to do with running or working out. You can't do working, guys. I know you like to work out too. Don't cheat. Nothing to do with working out or running. What something you like to do?
Well, we already talked about the dog. So reading. I'm a big reader.
Oh, let's talk about reading. Paper, Kindle, what? I know the answer. I do, but my listeners... Because
your wife gives you a hard time. So,
but for Madonna in Manhattan and my 50 other listeners, tell me about the reading.
So as we started this podcast, I'm not like a super technical... I'm like the worst millennial you could ever meet, truly. I do have a Kindle. It has not been charged in 5 years. I am still a physical book person, and even better if I can get it through the local library.
Oh, that is so awesome! I can't even tell you.
I'm an old soul.
And what type of books? Like are mystery,
anything,
spy novels? What do you gravitate to? Name an author. Name one of your favorite authors.
So I'm drawn to historical fiction. Like that, it will always be like my go-to. So I really like Kate Quinn.
Okay.
My all-time favorite book to recommend is The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. It's about female code breakers in World War II. Fascinating. It's a really good book.
Yeah.
But I'll read anything. I don't love nonfiction, to be honest, but I'll read it. Right now I'm reading, it's a TJ Klune book. I'll read anything. Fantasy, Sci-fi, historical fiction.
Sci-fi, fantasy. You ever read any Brandon Sanderson? He wrote the books about the Cosmere universe. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to make this into a reading podcast, but I read like all of his stuff, and then I stopped for a couple of years and let him write some more, and now I'm back reading some of his stuff.
I don't think I've read any of it. I have to see like the cover, but I don't think I've read any of his.
So I always tell people, if you like, you're not hardcore sci-fi, but you kind of like fantasy, it's a he's a great mix. And his fantasy stuff, like he creates these worlds that are crazy and they're so creative. It's not like dragons and, fire and magic. He just gets really creative with his.
Okay, we're going to have to get together.
Fantasy. Okay.
Because I have a fantastic series, the Prison Healer series.
Okay.
It's kind of like, it's fantasy-ish.
Okay.
Fantastic. And I own all three. I'm going to bring them next time I see you because it's.
Sounds good.
Yeah, super good.
Sounds good. Next question. Podcast that you listen to that is not mine, that is not about running. A lot of my guests like running podcasts. What's a podcast? And if you say, I don't listen to podcasts, I listen to music, that's fine. We'll talk music. But what's a podcast or music you listen to that has nothing to do with sports or running?
So I have 3 podcasts I listen to, truly. But I think I'm only subscribed to 3. Yours. Truly. Good Hang by Amy Poehler. Fantastic.
Oh, I heard that's great.
So
I heard it's
good.
Great. Have you heard the one of her this year? She finally went on Smartless with her ex-husband. Have you heard that episode? I haven't either. I got to listen to it. Okay.
She's amazing. It's hysterical. And then it's called Best to the Nest. Elizabeth Reese, who's a local, she's on was it Twin Cities Live? And she was on I also listen to the radio.
The radio, of course you do.
I listen to the radio.
Is it? Yeah. Yes, of course you do. Is it the big, 6 foot tall one that our parents had?
No, they have apps. They have apps now that you can read. You can listen to the radio on.
I know I'm getting sidetracked here, but Aaron and I, we're tearing the house apart, or the contractor is. In the walls of our house, Dee, did Aaron tell you this? The insulation in all of the walls is made from newspapers.
Newspaper?
From 1930.
Stop.
So, no, there's the society pages from 1930. Aaron and I reading the houses for sale. They're like, we'll trade for a house closer to the city. This house on Lake Harriet for a crock pot is $6,000. These houses on Lake Harriet. And then the best part is, there was no TV back then, so they had the Marconi radio program listing. Isn't
Marconi
that crazy?
Awards. My Talk wins Marconi Awards all the time. So yeah, Best to the Nest by Elizabeth Reese and Marjorie Punnett.
Wonderful. Thank you. Final question. Final Jeopardy. 5 pieces of gear. This is for Graham in Ireland. What are 5 pieces of gear that you got to have when you go on a run? They can include dogs too. So,
well, I need to get a running dog. Frankie's not a running dog. She's like, don't get me involved with your physical activity bullshit. Like, you get another dog for that one. So this is also another funny thing with running. I never rotated shoes before, like last year or the year before. So, but I will say my go-to running shoes, Hoka Mach 6s.
Okay.
So that's one.
Hoka Mach 6s, got it.
I'm going to, I have one of those roller sticks.
Yes.
Like a massage roller stick.
Don't they call it just like the stick? It's the real small one. Just, yeah.
And it doesn't have spikes on it. It just has
Yep.
It is, I think it's a Spree brand. I truly don't travel without it, because especially like with my knee, it needs that. There's also a compression sleeve that I often don't leave my house.
What brand? What do you know the brand or the style of it? I mean, if you don't know, that's fine. I'm just curious because I've been, after my knee exploded at Zumbro, not like your knees. I had no physical damage, but like it just blew up. I've been wearing a little sleeve on there just so I don't have to look at it if it explodes.
I need to send you the one that I bought. It's like $60, but it is worth every penny.
Is it pretty tight compression or is it okay?
It's not like,
I probably don't need that. I probably need something kind of in the middle. It's not.
I would say it's not like too tight though. You know, it is like perfect compression. It helps with, like, I fly with it on. It's Incrediwear. Incrediwear knee sleeve. It's like $60 on Amazon. Worth every penny. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, my listeners. Thank you. That's 3. Give me 2 more.
I also, I probably should talk about my favorite ice pack. It's, I know you're going to ask me the brand of this one as well.
No, I don't need another brand. What kind of an ice pack? What is it?
It is a ice pack sleeve with a BOA system on it. So, you know, like the BOA shoes, like the clips for biking.
Yes. This is a sleeve on your arm that you, now, is there actual ice in it for your knee? Mm-hmm. Do you wear it when you're done, not when you're running?
Mm-hmm. Just when I'm done. Like if my knee's super swollen, I'll pop on. It's called Recoup Fitness with a BOA, and it gets it really tight.
Wow. I should have guessed these would all be knee related, but yes, this is good. This is good.
No, how pathetic.
No, it's not. It's good. And you got one more? What else?
Yep. I do like my electrolytes. I sweat a ton.
Okay.
Anybody who's run or worked out with me knows I sweat like crazy. So I'm not partial. I do like Noon and I do like Element. And Element's what I'm drinking now. So I kind of rotate between those two. So electrolytes.
When you did long runs like marathons or you go out for a half marathon, do you do gels too? Or do you drink your calories? What do you prefer?
So I try to do both. I did like a tailspin, tailwind.
Tailwind, I think it's,
I was tail spinning.
I do tailspin. You do tailwind. I'm the one in the tailspin.
Tailwind, like their endurance. Because I did find and I can't, like my first marathon, I don't even think I took a gel once, right? Like fueling in like 2010 was different.
Aaron's
than
like, I don't
now.
need no gels. I'm fine.
It's crazy. So I do like tailwind endurance, but then I do like the Huma gels with caffeine because I can't get enough caffeine in my system ever.
Man, me either. I could have a thermos of coffee with. I'd be just fine.
An IV. Just roll it next to me.
An IV. I love it. Mm-hmm. All right, Dee Lukas. Tell Drew and Frankie and what's Rodney? What's the new one's name?
It should be Rodney. It's Eddie.
Eddie, who kind of looks like Penny. Tell them all I said hi. Thank you very much.
I will.
I'll tell Erin you said hi. Erin says
give
hi.
her a big hug. Give her a big hug for me.
I will. I'm gonna go up and we're gonna hang out with Lexi and Erin.
The birthday girl.
We're gonna cuddle on the couch and the birthday girl. Yes, she just had her birthday this week. Mm-hmm. We're gonna cuddle on the couch and look at the destruction in our house. But someday we will have a kitchen.
It's gonna be so worth it.
It's gonna be so worth it. I think I'm going to do a solo podcast just talking about construction.
You should. It's a whole. I mean, we renovated this house top to bottom, inside out. We had a carpeted bathroom when we moved in. It's a transformative experience.
We should have talked remodeling. We missed it. Well, that's fine. All right, Dee Lukas. Thank you. And
thanks, Joey.
I bet you're going to be excited to listen to your episode. Are you going to listen to your episode?
I'll get the ding as soon as it comes up since I'm a subscriber.
Oh, man. She's one of my 51 guys. One of my strong 51. Love it. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Dee Lukas.
Thanks, Joey. We'll talk soon.
Sometimes you just have to show up, even if you have had like 8 knee surgeries. Well, thank you, Dee, for showing up, not just for my podcast, but for the people at Mile in My Shoes, for yourself. It was an absolute treat to have you on the pod. If you guys enjoyed that half as much as I did, well, you know what to do. Leave a rating or a review. Spread the word. Grow the pod. And I'll have links to Mile in My Shoes and some of the things we talked about in the show notes. And, of course, you can always go check out my YouTube channel, Run Joey Run. That's it for this time. Until next time, cheers. Take care. Keep running. Keep walking. Keep moving. Just show up. You'll get there. You will cross that finish line.